Hey, 7th grade Panthers. This is going to be an example for you guys for vertical angles when you're solving for x. So a reminder, vertical angles are equal to each other, right? So if we had angle 1 would be equal to angle 3, sorry. I wasn't looking at the diagram. All right, so angle 1 is equal to angle 3. So we also know that angle 2 is equal to angle 4. So if they're across from each other vertically, you have the V's that are kissing, right? Then they are vertical angles. So it makes an X when they meet together. All right, so let's say we're going to solve for X. So let's say that the measure of angle 2, that they give us 2x plus 6. So for my angle 2, I have this 2x plus 6. And for my angle 4, because remember, we're working with vertical angles, and angle 4 is the vertical angle to angle 2. So for angle 4, let's call it 98 degrees. Not the band. All right, so 98 degrees. So I have 2x plus 6, and I have 98. So for this one, if I'm going to work this out, I need to remind myself that, and we wrote it up here, right? Angle 2 is equal to angle 4. So we need to write an equation setting those two things up equal to each other. So these two things right here. So my equation is going to look like this. So 2x plus 6 is equal to that 98 degrees. So in order to solve for x, because we already know angle 2 is 98 degrees, right? Because angle 2 and angle 4 are the same. They would be equal to each other. So now I can take my box method. You can use your algebraic method if you want to. So you could draw a line and balance your equation. We're going to use box method on the example. So let's make our boxes. And our first step is we're going to need to go ahead and write in the number that's all by itself on one side of the equal sign, and that's our 98. So we'll start with our 98. Now, the first step, we're going to get rid of those kids. So the kids are the ones that don't have an X, right? They're hanging out with the parents, but we got to get rid of those kids. The parents are getting annoyed with their children because they're at home due to COVID, and they're always there. So let's get rid of our kids. So the opposite or the inverse of adding or of a positive number would be negative or subtract. So I have that negative 6. So if I take 98 plus a negative 6, I need to think about, they're not the same sign. They are different signs. So same sign I add, different signs I subtract. So I'm going to take that 98 and I'm going to subtract the 6. When I do 98 minus 6, I end up with 8 minus 6 is 2. And I bring my 9 down and I get 92. So my number that goes in my center box is a 92. So now I'm almost to the end. Now what I have left is this 2x right here. So when I look at 2 times x, I needed to use the inverse or the opposite of multiplying, and that's going to be to divide. So I'm going to divide by 2. So we're going to have to take 92, we're going to divide it by 2. If you're using a calculator, you would put the 92 in first and then divide by the 2. So let's go ahead and work it out over here. So I've got a 92 divided by 2. So how close can I get to 9 if I'm multiplying by 2? Well, count it out. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 4 times. So 2 times 4 is 8. I take 8 away from 9, and I end up with 1, because 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring my 2 down, and I end up with 12. So, again, 2 times what is 12? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 6 times. So 2 times 6 is 12, and that's going to cancel out, right? Because 12 take away 12 is just going to be 0. And then I'm done with that. So my final answer here is a 46, which means my x is equal to 46. So that's how you solve for x when you're doing vertical angles. Just remember, vertical means equal, so you set them equal to each other like we did with angle 2 and angle 4, and then you just solve it the way you've been taught to solve it, right? So you're going to use your box method, get rid of your kids. If you have kids, sometimes it won't give you the kids, but remember, you're going to do the opposite. All right, so you guys have a great day. I will talk to you guys later.